If you want to know the secret to making your dreams a reality in the new year, keep on watching. In today's video, I'm showing you exactly how to prepare, plan, and goal set for 2025 in order to step into the new year feeling confident, excited, and like you have all your ducks in a row. The most productive time of the year is officially back. It's New Year's again. And if you're feeling completely lost about what to do, where to start, you feel like everybody's ahead of you, don't worry because we're gonna go through all of that today. Welcome to the first video of my 3-part New Year series, where in this video, we will cover how to plan for the new year, how to set goals, my productivity software, plus a template. And in the second video, we will do an ultimate guide to the new year, including vision board making, journaling, recap of the year, manifestation methods. While in the third video, we will do a New Year reset with cleaning, refreshing our spaces, getting into our grind with our New Year's resolutions and healthy habits. And as they say, you are only as good as your systems, or something like that. Meaning that if you don't have good systems in place to prepare you and support you in your New Year's endeavors, you will not be able to sustain your efforts. I think if we don't prioritize our goals and the things that we really want, it's so easy for us to just go with the flow of wherever life's taking us without sticking our oar in the water and setting some sort of direction. Like, you could be saying for months or even years that you really want to do something, but if you never sit down and take the time to figure out how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, maybe why you want to do it, it's probably never going to happen. And 2025 is the year of making your dreams come true. So to start things off, let's talk about goals. If despite constantly setting goals, you find that you are never able to achieve them, you might be making one or a few of these mistakes, which are setting unrealistic goals, meaning if after having just started a YouTube channel, having like 4,000 subscribers, I said my goal for the end of the year is to have 1 million subscribers. While of course being possible, it wouldn't have been a probable statement to make, and therefore setting that goal after just starting my YouTube channel and making it time dependent on the end of the year would only be setting myself up for disappointment. Another common mistake is setting too many goals. It can be so easy to say, okay, it's the new year, I want to work out every day, I want to meditate every day, I want to read 30 books a year, I want to drink this many glasses of water a day, I want to cook every day at home. It's really easy to just want to do every single good thing. And while having those aspirations is certainly not a bad thing, if you're starting from a point where you currently are not doing any of those habits, making huge shifts to your life and all of a sudden starting a billion new habits a day is going to be detrimental for probably your mental health and for the long-term success of those goals. Just in the same way that if you make a to-do list for the day and you write like 40 things on the to-do list, you're probably just going to feel overwhelmed and like there are way too many things to even possibly do. Another mistake that you could be making is not tracking your progress with the goals. For example, a way that I tracked my progress with YouTube growth was I had a little journal, and every time I hit 500 more subscribers in the months after starting my channel, I would write the date that I achieved it and I would like fill in a little heart with a different color. So that was like a little reward for myself, and it was a way for me to see that the effort I was putting into making videos was paying off. Another example would be like taking progress pictures with working out. If you maybe start taking a picture at the very beginning of your workouts and then you consistently work out for weeks or months, you will notice clear improvement in your muscle tone and definition throughout those photos. It'll be an easy way for you to look and see that the work you've been putting in is making a difference. Another potential mistake is not writing down your goals. If you have them in your mind but you never solidify them and make concrete statements or put them into some sort of planner or notebook, it's very possible that the goal just simply leaves your mind or you forget it after a while. Whereas if you have it written down somewhere, you can come back to it over and over and over and have that reminder, and it's almost like it solidifies it. I feel like when I write something down or even just type something into, a virtual planner, it immediately becomes more serious. It's like this is an actual plan and not just a thought that I had. Another potential mistake you could be making with your goals is setting goals that don't align with your values. For example, if you make a goal to read 20 books a year, but you hate reading and every time you try, it's just not something that you enjoy, it's not necessary to make reading be something that you're pushing yourself to do in that way. You could consume knowledge and information in other ways, like potentially listening to audiobooks or podcasts, but it doesn't have to be reading if that's not something that you genuinely love. Just the same way, if you hate journaling and you've tried so many different methods of journaling and you've genuinely explored it, but you just don't like it, it's not necessary for you to make goals to journal every single day. You know what I mean? And another mistake you could be making is not adjusting your goals with time. One example for me is at at the start of the year, I made a goal to apply to 52 jobs this year. And at that point, I had just graduated. I was really on my job hunt, job search. I was applying to lots of jobs and frankly, not hearing back from that many, but a goal of mine at that point was to apply to a lot of jobs. But now a year later, I've actually ended up prioritizing my own business, starting a podcast and expanding my reach in other ways. So applying to the jobs in that sense wasn't something that I was prioritizing anymore, and it's not something that I ended up doing. Therefore, when I started to realize that I shifted my focus and essentially didn't really value applying to jobs as a goal anymore, I actually just went in and modified the goal slightly to fit it better to what my new approach was. Meaning, like, instead of applying to jobs, now I was focused on launching a podcast and creating a brand for myself. Looking at goals after you've made them and seeing what works and what doesn't and how you can shift it to better suit yourself and your life is crucial in terms of goal setting. Having a good planning structure in place and a good framework for the way that you're going to organize your goals is one of the things that's going to keep you held accountable for those goals and also just keep you on track. I've tried tons of digital apps for organizing my life, my work, my studies, and also things like planners. And while there are things that I like about each of them, none of them have really seemed to be the all-encompassing thing that I need. I feel like I always face issues with them being too rigid, too time-consuming, too difficult to learn, or they really take a lot of time to maintain. So I actually found a tool that seems to be the perfect answer to all of these issues, and it's like the thing that solved it all for me, which is Xtiles. Xtiles is perfect because it allows me to make everything as cute and beautiful and gorgeous and Pinteresty as I want, but in such an intuitive way that it's not so overcomplicated and difficult to learn and figure out. It's ultimately an innovative online tool for organizing your ideas, tasks, and projects. For the past year, I've been using Notion a lot, but it was admittedly so difficult to figure out. I had to watch so many videos. I even would always get comments on my videos of people saying like they don't know how to use Notion, they can't figure it out. They would see my Notion in my videos, but like not be able to replicate it. So Xtiles is like a super cute and amazing, easier alternative to Notion. Also, I made my own template. So if you kind of like my style and you like the way that I set up my Xtiles, it's a free template that you can just copy and use in your own account. So that will make things really, really easy for you if you want to set up your own year with a vision board, a planner. The reason that it's so intuitive and easy to use is because you literally just draw the squares that you want to use. Like you make your own little tiles. It has tons of digital planner features like reminders, calendars, and alerts. So you can organize all of your typical calendar functions in there. You can easily add in pictures. Literally go to Pinterest, find all of your favorite aesthetic pictures and add them in. Anything you want to make it look like you, like to just be a full representation of yourself. And that is something that makes me want to open Xtiles every day. Xtiles also really reiterates how suitable this tool is for Gen Z specifically and people with ADHD. The color coding, drag and drop features, and the flexible task organization make it really suitable for people who potentially struggle with focus and want to better manage their schedules and prioritize tasks. You can make different pages for things like school, work, your personal life, your trips, your goals, anything you could potentially want to ultimately just organize your whole life in one place. There will be a link in my description to register for Xtiles if you want to start your own journey towards staying productive in your own style. If you've set goals last year or if you had New Year's resolutions for 2024, now is a great time to review them. So to go through my goals real quick, I'm not going to necessarily share all of my goals because some of them are obviously, they're like personal to me, they're my life. But my first goal was to read 24 books, which I actually did not hit 24, but I think I'm very close to 24. But I'm actually not like upset about it because I was reading consistently every day. Like I did make that goal quantifiable by saying 24 books, like 2 books a month, but some books were super short and I read them in 2 days, and some books are 400 or 500 pages and they're nonfiction and they're difficult to digest and I only read small bits at a time. But either way, I'm reading every day and that's my ultimate goal. So I still feel almost like this was an accomplishment. My next goal was to practice languages 3 days a week. I think I set it as 5 days a week at the start of the year, and then throughout the year when I realized I was not doing that, I moved it down to 3, but I'm actually not even doing the 3 days a week. So this one was definitely like a no, I did not do that and I'm gonna need to revisit that. Next, I had a goal of opening a new credit card, which I did do. I wrote that I wanted to learn one new skill or software each month, and I was really pointed about this at the start of the year, but throughout the year I was learning learning lots of new things, but I wasn't as particular in saying like, this month I'm gonna learn this month I'm gonna learn this. But I did end up learning a lot of new things, and that was ultimately my goal. I also wanted to get a passport, which I did, and I wanted to work out 5 days a week. I've been super consistent about my workouts, 5 days or even 6 days a week now, so I did that. I wanted to hit 100,000 subscribers, which was a huge milestone for me, and I hit it in, I think it was actually like June 30th. I hit it, and I was in France when I hit it, so that was a huge accomplishment. I also wanted to get an Amazon storefront, which I did, and make an LLC, which I also did, and I wanted to start a podcast, which I did. But now it's time to set new goals for 2025. I'm gonna start by just writing them down in list format, and then I'll go in and format them all cute in X-Tiles. But these goals are gonna be very specific to me and my life, and I'm not gonna make goals for things that I'm already like doing well. Like if I'm already eating really healthy and cooking at home a lot, I could say like, oh, I wanna make a goal of cooking at home this many times a week, but like I already have mastered that, so it doesn't feel necessary for me to make a goal out of it. These are gonna be things I'm actively reaching for and looking to achieve. So in terms of lifestyle and wellness, we'll say, this is something that I've been good about, but want to really make sure that I continue to do it, which is work out 5 times a week. And I'll break it down a little bit into my workout split so that I have it for myself. I also want to really prioritize flexibility, which is something I've already been doing. I've been actively stretching every single day, like very regularly for at least the past few months. So I'm gonna say again, 5 times a week, just making that the goal. The other big main focus for me in the lifestyle wellness realm is meditating daily. This is something I do often, but I want to do it every single day without fail. So meditate every day. I'm gonna say at least 5 minutes, which is very short, but sometimes I'll get in the zone of meditating and I'll want to continue. Next is finances, which is something I've really been getting into. I would like to open one more new credit card, and I want to definitely start investing in stocks. Just start investing in general and really like learn more about it. For a lot of these goals, I actually have very personal, specific ones that I wouldn't necessarily want to share, or like at least wouldn't want to share them until I've accomplished them. So I'm not going to say every single one of my goals here, but I am going to say the ones that I would feel comfortable posting to YouTube. So right now I do have a savings goal, but I'm just going to put like blank spaces and I'll fill it in later. Then for like my personal growth, I don't know if I should say read a certain number of books or if I should say like read a certain number of pages. Ultimately, my actual goal is to just read something every day. And one of my overall themes of this new year, that like my mantra of the year or my main goal, is to get outside of my comfort zone. So I'm just gonna say step out of comfort zone. For my career / content creation, I have a lot of goals that I will not be specifically saying, but I already have an entire list of things related to this that I've written down that are like goals or like dream things that I would like to happen this year. So again, I'm not going to share it. Maybe I'll share it next year when those things happen, when, not if. But I think overall my subscriber goal this year was 100K. I'm now at 160K, which is incredible and such a dream. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm thinking for 2025, because like the growth could stay the same. I could have a video do super well and like my growth could go up or it could go down. Like I just don't exactly know, but I think maybe I'll go with 300,000 subscribers. It seems really high as well. Like that seems like a really high number, but like what if I went past that? Like I don't want to limit myself. But I also, one thing that I really definitely want in 2025 is to get a management agency, and I have a specific one that I want, and I've been literally like waiting on this one because I just only want them. So I want a specific management agency. I think I would like to add to my creative endeavors each year. Like 2 years ago I started my YouTube channel, and this year I started a podcast. I think next year I would like to expand into something else, like just keep pushing the bounds of what I could potentially do. So I'm not 100% sure what that will be this year. I have honestly so many ideas and things I would love to do, but one thing that I have in my mind, but I'm not sure if next year will be like the time for it, but I'm just gonna say a general goal that I have is to launch my own brand. I think the only thing that comes to mind in terms of like all of my general relationships is that I want to make new friends, which I've already been doing this year. And for me, this means potentially saying yes to invitations more often, reaching out to people myself and not just waiting for people to reach out to me. And I'm just gonna say life. For my life, I would love to maybe buy land, start building a house, buy a house, something along those lines. I don't know if it will be fully done. Like if I want to build a house, I don't know if it'll be fully built, you know, in a year, but like I want to get the ball rolling on my own place with my boyfriend. That's quite a big one. But now that I have my goals all written down, I want to make a little vision board in Xtiles to give me a visual of what I want my year to look like. I am going to make a physical vision board in the next episode of this little series as well, because I love to have a physical copy as well as a virtual copy. But I think because I'm using Xtiles as my virtual planner for the year, having a little visual of my goals and what I want my year to look like that I can see every single day when I open it up is going to be something that will keep those goals at the forefront of my mind and keep me on track. I do have a little 2025 vision board that I've started on Pinterest, but I'm gonna go through and add more pictures to there and just scroll through Pinterest and find any cute picture that goes along with the goals I have in mind. For me, it's gonna be things related to honestly just like wellness, living a healthy lifestyle, traveling, content creation related things, and some pictures that specifically go with goals that I already have in mind. So this is truly life-changing, and I've been doing this for a few years, but essentially what I do is think about my year and think about which goals I kind of want to prioritize in which periods of my life. I don't think this really applies to things like working out, eating healthier and stuff like that, because those are kind of just ongoing goals. But if I'm thinking about like, oh, I want to travel to this certain place in this month, I might write those things down, almost like making monthly goals, breaking down your year goals into monthly goals. And then like if I have a savings goal of like $50,000 or whatever, I might say, okay, I want to save $4,000 or $5,000 a month. But for me, this is also just like thinking about my year in months and saying, okay, January, I plan to take this trip. So let me write down like how I envision my January to go. Ultimately, this is like best case scenario journaling. That is where we're gonna wrap up things for today, but don't forget to check out the next installment of this series to even further plan and prep yourself for the new year. Comment this emoji if you watched all the way up until the end of the video, and don't forget to check out Xtiles. The link will be in the description, and you can use my cute little template to set up your own personal account. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.